Welcome to Flapachinos. Today we've got a special guest, Honey Brooks.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited. So, what is your favorite thing about doing OnlyFans?
Oh my gosh, just the time freedom it gives back to me that I can spend with my family and spend it in the way that I want to spend it. Obviously, the money is really great. We are investing a lot of it. So, we're not using a lot of it at the moment. But what's even better that is just the time that we get back with the kids. Like Hank works for me. So he gets to be at home with the kids all the time. And, we don't miss anything. We get to do everything together. If we want to take the kids out of school and just randomly do something, then we can.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
It's honestly so wholesome. Like, I feel like you're probably the only creator I follow who is so humble with the amount they make. Like, you don't see you on trips to the Maldives and bloody doing around the world trips in business class flights. Like, you're just literally like, I'm just happy to be at home with my family.
I really am.
my animals.
Yeah. Like, and we've got animals and we're just like, it's just full of like abundance and gratitude, just being there and being able to build the life for our kids and just always be there for them.
That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's like being
100%.
present. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, because like I never wanted to be tied down. And same with Hank, it's an absolute dream that he doesn't have to work at the moment, but we both never wanted to be tied down to companies that meant that we were working 24/7. And don't get me wrong, like I work extremely fucking hard. Like I hustle so hard, and that's why I am in the position I am. But it's the perfect work-life balance for me. And if one day I don't want to show up to work or I just don't feel like it, I don't. And it's not eating, my time away. It's giving me so much time back. Sorry, I'm going to go burp, not cry.
It's that thing, isn't it? You're not tied to a corporate company. So if you need to call in sick, you can call in sick. You haven't got to worry that job might be pissed off at you.
Yeah. And I've also found like I have run my own businesses in the past, and so has my husband. He's run his own building business, and there's just so much involved. Employees, looking after them, like invoicing, chasing people for money, just always being so involved into your business that you get home and all you want to do is sleep and eat and go to bed. And that's my favorite thing about OnlyFans for us, is that we can work a couple of hours in the morning and then fuck it. It's like our day.
Yeah.
Dreamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your least favorite thing about OnlyFans?
I haven't actually thought about this. It's so funny. I really try not to think about the negatives, because I think if I do dive too far into the negatives, that my mindset does go a little bit, because
I think, you spiral. You can
you
spiral.
do, 100%.
And your thoughts go where you like put the energy. So
Yeah. So my thing I hate the least about the industry is the negative comments. It doesn't affect me personally. I'm so in my own lane. Like I have my blinkers on, even with people in the industry doing things outside.
yeah, it's exactly what you've always told me, Sierra. Like, just stay in your own lane. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. Just focus on your own shit.
Yeah, and it's really, really soothing, because like, the world can be blowing up on the outside with, what other people are doing in media and what's going on in the media. If you just stick to your own lane and you run to your own business and, you do it your way, it's really healthy for me. So I don't get affected by the negative comments, but I hate when I do see other women in the industry, especially young women who join, and they do get so much shit online, and it does really grind my gears, because I'm like, who the fuck are you, fat Tom, to sit there like with no fucking life?
Like the trolls is just
and just
I
sit
do
there.
always say as well, like, as long as you can stand by what you're doing and you believe what you're doing is fine and you're okay with it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all that
that's
matters.
right.
Yeah, as long as your friends and family support what you're doing, it really doesn't matter.
And even if they don't,
they love you.
if it's okay for you.
Yeah.
It like when you do come into the business, you've really got to articulate what's super important to you and what's not. For me, I lost all my family coming into this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
That's so sad, because you're the most beautiful human. Like,
it was
that's so
interesting.
sad.
Yeah, because it was like when they found out, it was like I literally, me as a human being at a core, has not changed 5 minutes ago before you knew.
My mind is blown on this.
Yeah.
So I got told I wasn't allowed to see my nieces ever again. I was a bad influence on them. They treated me like a sex trafficker for for young women. Like I wasn't.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
so
That
it
is
was-
heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was at the time. Now I'm so like, do you know what? Now I'm so grateful that it happened because I'm like, those toxic people are out of my life, out of my children's life. Like I'm so glad that they are
Narrow-minded. To
Yeah.
think that you can cut someone based on their job
Yeah, it's
and not just their
insane.
true character and the actual
Yeah.
core and
Yeah.
their beliefs. And like, to me, it's
Yeah.
baffling.
Yeah.
Because my
And
parents,
literally
our
their
parents-
loss. Imagine she was your auntie.
Yeah. It'd be so cool. Imagine how great Christmas would be.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, our parents are so wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Balls
yeah.
to all love us for
They
it.
are.
Love
They're
it.
like our biggest
Oh, I
supporters.
love
Yeah.
that fills
my
my heart
mum
so
was the
much.
first one
Yeah.
to receive a picture of Girth Master's cock in my mouth. I was like, Mum, I've made it.
Oh my God, I love it. I love that so much.
Yeah, I was like, I'm flying to America to film with a porn star. Me and this big fat black cock. Like,
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good. Oh, I love that you guys have the support. It's
I
beautiful.
just cannot imagine. Like, it just would baffle me that anyone could do that. Like,
And yeah, like
But
we can like talk to our moms about anything, and that's
Yeah.
going to be huge for your children.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
I should mention my mum's a really great support. She's the only one that I still keep in contact
Yeah.
with. She is great. She's not as great as your mum.
she doesn't want to see you and Girth Master.
No. But yeah, she's really supportive. She's like, as long as you're safe and happy, that's all I care about.
And you couldn't be any more safe, really. Like, you
Yeah.
are doing it in the best way possible. Like, you know, you're not going out there and, sleeping with absolute strangers. Like, we
Yeah.
always work with verified creators. Like,
Yeah. I think there's definitely like when people join the industry, you know, it is something you need to consider, especially as a parent. And for me, safety was the number one priority to just protect like my personal name, my family name, my children. I think a lot of people on social media don't know I'm a parent. Like there wouldn't be a photo out there of my kids online.
that's how it should be, even as a non-sex
yeah.
worker. Like,
Yeah.
I don't agree you should post your kids on social media.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I think you just don't know. Even as the average Joe with 500 followers, you've just got to see a school badge. The wrong person has to see it and think,
100%.
I'm going to rob that kid.
How many fridges are filled with family photos and dates and events and calendars and everything? Like what goes on is just crazy. And my kids will never, I can tell you now, I'm so deep in TikTok. My kids will never ever have TikTok. And you see young 13-year-olds that, you know, their mum say, oh, I manage the account. That's fine. But when you see a young 13-year-old dancing around with 14 million views. That's not her school friends. It's not her school friends consuming that content. And if you looked at the analytics,
Yeah, when it shows you like
don't.
70% male, like whatever.
Yeah,
age bracket.
35 to 50, like, it would not be okay.
100%.
Yeah.
And even like how easy is it as a, you know, let's say if a male does want to create a different account under a name and say that they're female, like how easy is that? It is just a really, really dangerous place. And TikTok and Instagram don't put anything in place to protect children.
Oh, I remember being in chat rooms when I was like 13, 14.
MSN?
Yeah, I used to be on RuneScape and Habbo Hotel. I don't know how I
Yeah, what's
wasn't
those
kidnapped.
ones where it just like brings you to like random rooms? and
That
you
was
just
me,
end
Habbo
up-
Hotel. I don't know how I wasn't picked up. I must have been a really ugly kid because no one stole me. Like, no one truly wanted me. Like, we could
They would
probably
give you
cut that.
back. Like, drop this one back off. She's fucking annoying.
This fat fucker hasn't shut up. So where are we going? My parents never take me out.
Or she's like, yeah, you picked me.
The
Thank you guys.
people-pleasing.
Did you see that meme? And it's like someone kids my and it's like, so what made you pick me?
And they're in the back of the van.
That's you.
That would be me.
Why was I your first choice?
We do have to talk about it. What are your thoughts on the schoolies scandal?
Yeah, interesting. It's hard because I don't like to talk about other women in the industry. I'm very much like girls supporting girls, women supporting women. We're all in business. We're all just trying to do our thing.
Yeah.
However, I do not condone it whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
We've had so many lengthy discussions as well.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
have gone so back and forth on it. I did think it's interesting because you do have children.
yeah.
So I feel like your perspective is different.
Yeah, my perspective, and I know that the people that are doing schoolies are falling back on the fact that it's legal, so they're not doing anything wrong. And the way I look at it is just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. You know, if you want to be an asshole, it's not illegal. If you don't want to
Yeah.
use your manners, it's not illegal. If you want to take
So like
advantage
morally.
Yeah,
Like it's not
like-
illegal,
Yeah.
but morally
but
it's
it's not
okay.
right. Like it's really not right. And I think taking advantage of people that don't know the industry. We know full well what the industry entails. And if a teenager wants to come into the industry and start their own OnlyFans, they've just turned 18, perfect, go and do that. But they've got to take those steps to actually go and do that.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
They've got to create their account. They've got to put their ID ahead. They've got to think about a stage name. They've got to think about actually videotaping themselves, putting it out there, getting a DMCA company for leaks. They've actually got to consider that step by step. When doing that, they've got to consider what's going to happen when they tell their family, when it gets leaked, and all of that goes through. So there are so many processes if they were to start their own OnlyFans for them to go, oh, actually, I don't know if this is for me, and the repercussions it may have down the track, I may pull out.
I find it so funny because it is mind-boggling. Every other country they did it in, they copped no backlash. This is my thoughts on it.
Oh,
I
really?
think we are sexually progressive. We have sex at a very young age in the US and in England. We all lost our virginities far younger than I'd like to admit on camera, 14 years old.
Same.
Maybe under. I think Australia treat 18-year-olds like they're younger than they are.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I think they are, I think they're, in my eyes as well, because I do have a skewed view on Australia. I think it's a little bit backwards for me. I find there are a lot of things like with consent and, you know, we've seen a lot from the TV. But they are quite backwards, and I think they could be up to a lot worse. And I think in England, they can just have sex whenever they want, very consenting, normal. And that's why Bunny Blow's come along. She's fucked half the freshers and they would be just fucking each other. We have free STI testing inside nightclubs.
Yeah, I love
At
that.
18, you can go
there's
in,
some ways
get
where
it.
it's so progressive here, and then there's other things that like happen in like Ireland and UK that would never happen here, like the free STI checks.
Free STI
The
check.
drug checks.
Yeah.
You can go to a festival and get your drugs tested.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, like I think here that would
But
not
when
happen.
It tells you like what exactly
and they're
is
like,
gonna-
yeah, your drugs are safe, and you go off and you take them. Yeah.
Bonnie Blue and Annie Knight wouldn't have to be pushing stigma health at schoolies because you go to a nightclub in the UK, you get a free Jaeger bomb if you do a chlamydia test.
I love that.
Everyone knows
That's
you're
so
shagging
good.
half the uni halls on your first week. Like, and if you aren't, get a life, do more. So I do think it is interesting how they could do. Bonnie Blue did 2 countries, no issues. Came here and it was like she's being deported. And it's like,
well,
wild.
I don't think it's the actual sex that's the issue. Like for me, I know personally, it's the filming of the sex. And I think for the women to say, or the workers to say that, don't worry, you can sign a consent form at any time you can withdraw a consent, to somebody that is a teenager can be like, oh, that's amazing. Like I can go and do that. And then if I want to draw,
But then it's already done.
It's already out in the
Once
world.
She can take it off her OnlyFans, but it'll be in every corner of the web, and other people in the school or universities or workplace are going to get on there and screen record it and put it in group chats, and it's never ever going to go away. And that's fine. Like if you make that decision and
I don't think 18-year-old boys. It's in Snapchat stories. Every single time we're at a job with young boys, they go, do you want to see me, because they know we do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
First thing they ask, do you want to see my sex tape? And you're like, I actually don't, because that's
And they
really
they don't
inappropriate.
get it.
They just don't get it. We're like,
the girl is not consenting and we don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And
and
they're
they're
like,
like, what? But she wanted to be filmed, and we're like, no, brother.
Yeah.
Their videos are already
but maybe
in
that's your
Snapchats.
point. They haven't learned.
That's the thing.
They
There's
haven't
no
learned those
one-
things yet.
Yeah, there's a lot for them to learn, and I think they've got their whole life and their whole career ahead of them. And I know why the girls are doing it. Like, it's
100%.
incredible marketing.
I
It
actually
really
don't
is.
even think they are. Are they even sleeping with schoolies? I think most of it was literally the majority of it is just a marketing stunt.
Yeah, 100%. Like I wouldn't think that there would be as many.
I reckon they are,
videos.
yes.
And aren't they actually not that old?
No, so I think that was the issue. Yeah, Bonnie Blue is only 23 or 24, but obviously
Yeah, I
she
don't think
looks
it's
like
the-
she's
I don't
older
think
than
it's
she
the
is.
age gap.
Oh no, that was the issue.
Oh,
a lot of
was
people were
it?
saying they thought
They're
she
saying
was
that
in,
she's like a predator and like all this stuff.
And I was like,
Yeah.
can you really be a predator with like 3-4
But
years?
again, that's marketing. They're not out there being like,
I'm a predator.
like
no, she
they're not
actually
standing up for themselves saying, I'm only 22 and these are 18. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
They're lapping it up. Like,
Yeah,
which is
dollar bills
Look,
coming
they're
in.
making
Yeah.
millions of dollars, and that's amazing for them. And they came up with that marketing, and I know why they're doing it, but I can also see why people are concerned,
Yeah.
especially parents.
Oh, yeah.
Because I truly believe that the teenagers are going to be thinking with their dicks, and they may have like their lives ahead. They may marry into politicians. They may want to be a politician. They may want to do all these things with
and then their
future.
moms are just sitting at home thinking, that could be my poor boy. Like,
yeah, and something could come up again. And do you know what? The weight of having, like, you guys would know this feeling of like when you first start and you put something out there and it's always at the back of your mind, like, what if that comes out? Like, what happens if that
You don't know how I have the worst video leak and I cannot get rid of it. And it's like my first ever video I made and it's so bad.
Yeah, and whenever you meet people or you do things, it's always at the back of your mind, like, holy shit, what happens if this pops up one day or you know, I'm way past that now.
These boys are going to have some serious anxiety in 5 years' time.
Yeah, and I just think that they're not fully educated. I think there's just I don't really know to the extent what they're doing, but I feel like there may just be like a consent form put in front of them, just being like, don't worry, we can remove it.
And then they might think that it's cool to sign it if their friends are signing it.
Yeah. So I think they all have to legally sign the consent form. I think Bonnie Blue's
what I mean is
forces it.
If all your friends are signing it, they're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll sign it too.
So the consent form
like
isn't like it's not like they are, you know, they can't it's not a legally binding document that they can't go back and say no. They can say, hey, I'm withdrawing that consent now. And they can choose to have their faces blurred, which I think, I hope to be the smart option for these men, but obviously we just don't know. No. I find it the most fascinating thing because you're so right. Like I obviously had the standpoint of men have profited off barely legal on Pornhub. It's been the most popular category since I was 18 and I started going on Pornhub. I remember it being the one category that blew up, you know, teen and barely legal, yada, yada, yada. And men have made money, or over the years, the sex industry has made millions of it. And I think it's so funny how you flip the switch and it is everyone's now suddenly wanting equal rights. Like it's not okay if a guy was doing it. I'm like, guys are still doing it.
Yeah.
That is still a thing. Like, you're like saying those 13-year-olds TikToks are blowing up.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Oh, there's definitely there's huge problems in the industry.
Yeah.
Like 100%, like, you know, the what's going on in the media is just the absolute surface. And I really think what they were not looking at everyone's not looking at the real problem. You know, they like to blame someone and it's going to make everyone feel comfortable.
Definitely, they're getting the blame.
Blame Bonnie. And, you know, now that, and it's so funny because I've seen that now that Bonnie Blue has lost her visa and she's not coming back, everyone's like, oh, good, that's fixed. But it's fucking not. Like there's a whole lot of shit going on. It's not regulated. There is so much shit that goes down and like in a sense, like, it may bring awareness, but nothing's ever going to get done about it. It's just everyone's going to have opinions on it. Everyone's going to get loud over it. The girl's going to get paid really well on it, which, like I said, kudos to them. Like, you know, they're running their own business. I definitely don't have anything personally against the girls or the women, sorry. But I don't condone it. And I think most people have spoken out and said, like, we don't agree with it. Yeah. It's very, been huge. It's everything all over everything. All my feeds is all about it. Yeah, it is. And I just hope that, you know, yes, it's legal. Morally, is it right? People are very divided. A lot of people don't think so, but I just hope it doesn't drive people to be like, oh, what stunt can I do next in the sex industry?
Oh, it's
to blow
definitely
up,
going that way.
because I feel like the more people get on this train or bandwagon of being like, what fucked up thing can we do next to blow up in the media and get famous like these girls, is just going to, you know, we're trying to move so forward in the community of sex work and, you know, equal rights and
pushing that needle so far. Like, I think even back in the day, there was porn stars who were like, I'm going to fuck 100 people in a day. It's been, as long as time's been, like, there has been people who push the limits.
Yeah, 100%. Like, nothing against that, but I just hope that people don't look at that and be like, I'm going to do some crazy, crazy fucked up shit.
I think I definitely considered it for a bit. There was a bit like where I was like,
going to schoolies?
No, not doing school.
Oh, doing something like a marketing.
Like I don't know. Having sex with heaps of people or just being completely out there. But I
thought about it too, like from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. I mean, if you already do it. Or like,
every idea I came up with, I was like,
we both came
do I want my parents to see that?
And it was more, we came to that decision, we really like our privacy. And you've got to really accept, like we've seen it, Annie Knight is being absolutely papped left, right and centre. Yeah. I don't think there's a price for me. But I just don't care how much money I was making. To be able to leave an airport and not get papped is truly, there's no price for that for me. My privacy is too important. Yeah. And
that's really great. Like, you know, you're so self-aware of that, which is really nice. That's something you just want to keep to yourself. I've also because I do a lot of research in the industry and I listen to a lot of podcasts and I like to like, you know, just listen to a little bit of everything, that I know that there are older women in the industry as well who have been heavily in the media and have said, I just, now that I'm older and I'm moving out of the industry, I just wish I didn't say those things that are so heavy in the media. They were starting to regret it and just be like, yeah, it was great at the time because I got paid fabulously and I was making headlines. But now when you Google me, that's when it comes up. And I just feel like I really hope this goes really well with the girls, but I just hope that the women, sorry. I just really hope that
their
they
mental
don't
health is
regret it.
constantly going to have to be checked in.
Like, because they're getting called predators online everywhere.
And both of them have been receiving death threats.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's horrible.
There's no price on that for me. Like being papped outside an airport and getting death threats to my friends and
they're young
family.
too.
Yeah,
that's
like,
it.
Yeah,
They're
only
so young.
Yeah.
They're
They're
both under
4
25
years older.
Yeah, I actually heard Bonnie Blue speaking on a podcast saying that people are leaking underage photos of herself.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
They found her friends, family, everyone from her real life, leaked her home address, and then found her nudes from when she was younger.
Yeah, and she was saying that she was being sexualized as an underage in this podcast, and I was like, two wrongs don't make a right. Like,
definitely
that
not.
poor woman to go through that. Is
God, yeah.
shit.
Once again, still, like, I know she's on £260 a month,
but it's going to affect like
that would completely
100%.
cook me.
Yeah,
like completely cook me as a human. Like leave my friends and family alone.
They always say money can't buy happiness. And you know, you can have a heap of money in the world, but if your mental health is rocky and you've got people sending you death threats,
there is no price on your mental health.
No,
and
there is literally.
And if somebody messed with my family, like,
it would,
because even for me, I'm like,
you.
can I do like a silly story or like something outrageous where I can go a bit viral and I can make that money, but then every time I think of it, I'm like, just don't want that.
Yeah,
you know,
it is
not even for me. Like, I don't want my brother's friends or my dad's friends to be like, that's your fucking sister, that's your daughter.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can think of that I'm like, I'm just, not okay with it.
Yeah. We're going to miss it out.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
So we love the fact that you've got your own marketing agency, Honey's Making Money.
Yes.
And you've got your own podcast. So shout out all our Flapachino listeners. Go and listen to her podcast too, especially if you are interested in starting an OnlyFans. I think that's...
Yeah.
You've got so much helpful advice on there.
Yeah, I really wanted to start a podcast to just share my experience, like take it with a grain of salt because it is my experience. But, just to share, is OnlyFans for you? Because I think there is a lot of stigma out there being like, holy shit, I can get rich. I'm going to put nudes out, and then nudes are online and then they're not getting rich and they're like, oh, and regret sinks in.
And now everybody's seen my nudes.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't get them back. They're just everywhere, and there's a lot of shame. So I just put it out there because I was like, at least it can be a little bit of guidance for anyone that wants to prick their ears up and listen to, how I did it, if it's for you, if it's not, the things to consider, leaks, negative comments, all of that. And
honestly, every time someone asks me about it is where I send them because I think there is way too much about everyone making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And there's no one just saying like, are you aware of any of the things you've got to worry about? And it's like, no one thinks about it.
No. Yeah, I actually had that conversation with a girl today that came around to my house.
I was going to say,
she was like,
you do this
there
a lot.
to talk about getting into OnlyFans. And then she was asking me like, what do you do? And I'm saying topless, nude, masturbation, dildo, whatever. But I did say to her, I said, you can do whatever you want. But my advice would be to start off with topless and nude. See if you can bring the fans, see if, your social media brings that in. See how it makes you feel. Because personally, I wouldn't go straight into masturbation and then in a month or two you realize I didn't make any money. Now your masturbation videos are out there.
Yeah.
I said, see if you can make the money, and then if you want to move further, move further. But
yeah. It starts slow and steady.
Yeah, walk before you can run. Just dip your toes in and see what you're comfortable with. And boundaries is so important because you think, so
important.
When people dangle money in front of you and they're like, hey, can you do this video for XYZ? And you don't know your boundaries.
Yes, because a non-sex worker, it's just not something you ever think about. But because we did skimpying, I already knew there was things I would always say no to. So when OnlyFans popped up, for me, it was like, I knew what my firm no's were.
Yeah.
But if you don't do sex work, you just think, fuck, $500 is $500.
Yeah, woo, let's do it.
Yeah, you want me to stick a carrot up there? Fuck yeah. Actually against the T's and C's on OnlyFans.
No, but not on OnlyFans at work, except when those girls said that you couldn't do it.
Oh, that came up recently. I did have to refuse $500 sticking a carrot up my ass in real life I did film it for OnlyFans though, and then found out you can't stick objects in.
Do you have a Fansly?
I do.
I'm pretty sure you can do it on Fansly.
Yeah, probably not going to release it. It wasn't a great video, to be honest. It wasn't like a
wanna
sexy fruit
see
and
it.
veg. It was more of a, I'll put it on. And it was so funny. I remember putting like a little caption like, can't wait to release this video. And a girl messaged me straight away like, baby, can't sell that. And I was like, fuck's sake.
All that time and effort.
Yeah. Oh, it
Yeah.
wasn't that much time. It wasn't that much effort, to be honest. I stick things up there for fun.
Yeah, I did that. Mine got removed off OnlyFans. I fucked a gear stick in one of our tractors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You fucked a gear
Yeah.
stick.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good actually.
Say.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
kept
like
moving as well, like into gear.
Was it one of the ones that like
So wait,
vibrates?
Well, it wasn't running, but yeah.
that could have been dangerous.
Yeah.
Is it on your Fansly?
It is, yeah. It's on my
Yeah.
Fansly.
There you go. That's
I'm gonna go watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, I feel like it's so boring just sticking with the dick and the dildos. Like, how many things can we shove up our pussy?
Honestly, I feel like, the gear stick is genius.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah. That is so funny. I actually just did my first car masturbation.
Oh.
Not for
Really?
OnlyFans. Just
Oh,
bash
you
it
did?
out.
You
Yeah.
did? She got horny and
I
bashed
was,
it
like, I
out.
was like, can you drive and finger yourself? It turns out you can
Yeah,
drive
you
and
can.
masturbate.
Yeah.
I did
Is it
shame you
illegal?
for.
Yeah, she didn't do it.
Oh.
She didn't do it. She was parked in the driveway.
I was
was gonna
parked
say-
in the driveway on the Kanana highway.
I feel like that's worse than texting and driving.
Is it though? Because I really get off without much. Oh.
Two hands on the steering
well,
wheel.
I
at
made
all times.
one with Hunter.
Wait, you have to have two hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hunter,
guys.
me and Hunter were doing like a 24-hour road trip. She was like, you should just finger yourself while I drive. And I was like, I don't know. So I was like sitting in the car, fingering myself, and she's like, make more noise. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Where do we find these friends?
they're
You don't
our
have-
friends.
Yeah.
Do you not have friends that you can finger yourself in front of in the car?
No, not really.
And they're like your cheer team?
Really? Our friends
need-
are pretty lit.
Oh, I need some new
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. We'll get you on the sesh next time.
Next time you come over, come hang out with our friends.
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
spend an extra 2 days. I feel like I need 2 days.
Definitely.
I was
One to
thinking,
play and one to
didn't I
recover.
do story last time I seshed with you?
Oh, probably. I can't remember. But it takes me a good 2 weeks to recover with the kids.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We do love the sesh. We do. We do. I was like off my face at our last session. I turned around and I was like, is there an orgy or is this the drugs? And I came out and I was like, it's not an orgy, but it's very like everyone was
Everyone
like
had their
laying on each
clothes
other.
off.
It looked like Skins because everyone was naked. Everyone was like laying on each other, hugging
The
each
aircon
other.
was broken in my room.
And everyone was
Everyone was just like
it was like a
sweaty.
puddle. But I guess no one was making out. But then occasionally like
Someone would
me
make out.
and Charlie would kiss, and I was like, but he's gay, so I was like, is that like that sexy?
Oh, who wouldn't want to kiss Charlie?
Honestly, who would not want to kiss Charlie? But like, it was like, is this an orgy? I don't really know. Yeah, but then it was also at the same time, everyone was on the dance floor, just
There was
like,
no
listening to the
penetration.
I
band.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. I fell asleep in your cupboard as well, along with Penny. Yeah, that was great. 2 people fell asleep in the cupboard.
It was a great
I'm
set.
going to need 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then me
It took
and
me a week to do the washing in the house because everyone done so many costume changes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I definitely contributed to the washing because me and Hunter had a really romantic shower in the sunset with a beer in
Amazing.
hand. And then a friend came in, was like trying to tell us a story about our kids. And I was like, but yeah, me and her had a very romantic shower. Shout out to Hunter. That shower was glorious. I was off my tits gurning like, this is so romantic. I love you so much. I love you so much, friend.
Reality.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I know.
You've been awesome.
Honestly,
That's
thank
so
you
much
so
fun.
much. We appreciate it so much.
And we look
honestly.
forward to the sesh.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm coming back out. Thank you for having
Join
me.
us for the sesh.
Yes. Maybe tonight.
Okay.